And just before we jump in, just stay a couple minutes afterwards, then, and we'll figure out.
So we'll kick in. So, hi everybody, another episode of the podcast, and today delighted to have Dinny Collins on board here on the pod. And Dinny is, well, we'll say co-organizer, co-host of Bitcoin Ireland conference, which is actually happening now on the 24th, a Saturday, the 24th of May, which is probably a week or so after the release of this episode. So we'll put links towards tickets at in the notes and probably on the screen here as well, so you can get your link to get tickets to the event because it's one of the I was my first conference was last year, Chris. I know you've been to a few of them, but one of probably the best conference I've been to in that everybody's so friendly, it's so welcoming, and just the concept of understanding and getting to know about Bitcoin in a very friendly atmosphere, it's definitely the place to go to. So would highly recommend anybody to click that link, get your tickets to the conference. And Lawrence is also joined here. How's things, Lawrence?
How you doing?
Mm.
Sorry about this. I was
No,
on
you're
another
okay.
Zoom and he just wouldn't let me go off. And I was saying, I need to get off. I need to get off.
Just cut the link.
The most important meeting of the
Uh,
day, Lawrence here.
I
well,
know, I
we're only
know.
starting. It's all good. But yeah, Lawrence here. You're obviously co-host as well of the Bitcoin Ireland conference, and it's basically, well, it's kicking off this. We just wanted to kind of get an overview of, I suppose, sort of both your journeys into Bitcoin and really how your paths crossed, and just how much of an undertaking is it to actually organize this event from the outset. So I'm not sure, Denny, do you want to kick off just in a brief overview of your journey into Bitcoin, how you become, or what has driven you to actually want to create this and start this conference and really push it forward?
Deadly Alan. My journey into Bitcoin was my claim to fame is I was a gold investor before a Bitcoiner, and the transition I thought was really easy. I know some gold people haven't got there yet, but from someone who sort of was exposed to my thing as an entrepreneur was I earned money and I didn't know I was like of the advice that we all get. Once you're earning money, just save it in the bank and life will be great. And then I figured out that and you can't do that. Wealthy people don't do that. So I was like, right, what am I going to save it in? I don't really understand the stock market thing. But gold seems to be something that's quite simple. I can just save in that, so that's going to be my asset for the moment until I try and figure out how to operate. And then, of course, just started to get exposed to some Bitcoin things and had friends who were into it, in early days. But for me, it was only really in 2020 that it clicked, and I really went down a deep rabbit hole of Bitcoin and put a lot of time into it. And then I was like, okay, this is I think this is something here. And then of course you fall down the rabbit hole and it changes your life and you realize it's the most important thing to pay attention to, I guess, like if you value your time, because we're all a slave to money and money dictates how much time we get to spend or not spend. And yeah, I suppose me and Lawrence connected maybe in 2020 sometime. I think he came on board as a client initially, and then he had a lot of expertise in events, and he's probably on a similar sort of timeline and journey to myself, I guess. So we just sort of hit it off, and then we started to we just decided we'd get an event going. Lawrence, maybe you want to.
Yeah, yeah, I think what happened was we realized there was no actually meetups in Ireland, Southern Ireland. And I was talking to Denny one day, and he was actually driving up to Belfast to go to an event, a meetup. And I said, wouldn't it be nice for us to have an event in Ireland? My background in Ireland was I was involved in special events for 25 years. I would have managed a lot of the bigger outdoor events here in Ireland, festivals, concerts. I would have been, I would have managed, you'd think of any big event in Ireland, like from Slane to Oxygen to the Electric Picnic to all these big massive festivals, Bloom in the Park. I worked on all them for years and years, and I was uh, uh, the event manager and the concessions manager on those, or concessions director on all those events. And I just said to Dinny, why don't we put out a little meetup maybe, first of all, to see how it goes? And that's what we decided to do. So we picked a date, and what resonated to me at the time was Pizza Day around that time. And we found a nice location in Dublin, a nice hotel, nice friendly hotel, and we approached them, and they said, "Yeah, we can do it there." It was starting off as a little meetup with about 30 people. That's what we thought we might get at it. We put the tickets out. They went. Then we said, "Did they think maybe we should add more tickets?" Went to 50. And then I said, maybe we should do a little bit of an event here, a little conference. And that's what we done. We just went on and on and on from there. Yeah. Maybe because with the expertise that I had, we could kind of put it together fairly easy. And there is a lot of work involved in putting on these conferences and events, but I had a lot of experience from it from before. And that's how Bitcoin Ireland started, 2022. Yeah. And we've
Well,
just grown it since then,
this
on
is
and
the fourth
on.
year. The fourth year then, Lawrence and Denny. Obviously you're passionate about it, and it is a big undertaking. Um, I missed the first one. I've been to the last two. So this will be my third, the fourth event overall. It seems to be leveling up each year. Talk to us a bit about like, what's new about this year's event. Like, what makes it stand out from previous conferences? Like, what would you say to people, new people, that haven't experienced it before? Why should they come along?
I would say it's like we've been to other conferences all over the world, and they're so big and so busy that you can't get near anyone. Whereas our conference, it still has that sort of small meetup style, although there's going to be a couple of hundred people at it. So you get access to everyone. We're in you're walking around, you're able to chat to people. It's a bit more relaxed. It's not as commercial as the other. Not to take the commercial as that it's bad, but just seems a bit more grassroots and a bit more natural and a bit more relaxed. And I suppose that's the way we like it. We'll enjoy it. Perhaps in the future, it's going to grow into a big commercial entity. But at the moment, it's just more grassroots. So you get access to people that you get a lot of networking. Like one thing that I done that I thought was cool is we give people name badges because it's an icebreaker. If you're standing beside me and I can see your name and you can see mine, like, Alan, my name's Alan, or whatever, like, and it's little things like that, little tweaks. And I'm sure Lawrence, you can bring in because we've got some good stuff happening this year.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing about it as well, and going back to what my expertise on events, I wanted something that we could have it like a hotel and a conference center, so everybody could stay in there. So basically, what happens is people come in on the Friday, they check in on the Friday. A lot of people do come in on the Friday, check in on Friday, and that's an amazing networking day. Saturday, the event is on for the whole day, and then we have an after party in the bar as well. And uh, this year, what we're doing for the speakers and any sponsors, they're gonna be we're doing a special event then the next day for that. Yeah, so it's like a weekend. Yeah, people can come in, just stay there for the weekend and um, network and interact and be close to these big Bitcoiners and these OG people that have been there for years. Like, yeah, um, it's more. I think more like a boutique event per se, not like the big conferences that you go to and it could be like 10,000 people. You're not gonna get to anybody with like that, you know?
Yeah. No, that's what I definitely got last year. You got very like access, as you say, to all the speakers that were on stage, even the after events after the conference, talking at the bar, networking, just being able to casually ask questions about things. It's very unique because again, I've been to a few conferences around the UK and Europe, and as you say, it's just so big. There's so many people, you don't get that access, and I think that's what sets Bitcoin Ireland apart. The conference is just so accessible to everybody. But I think a lot of people as well, they're kind of apprehensive in attending these conferences because they find it a bit kind of scary. The Bitcoin thing, for anybody new and wanting to kind of get to know more about Bitcoin, what would you say to somebody, feeling a little bit apprehensive about coming to the conference?
Come, it'll be the best. It could be a pivotal moment in your life. And I don't say that lightly because for me, learning and understanding Bitcoin was a pivotal moment in my life. And I'm sure all three of you guys may would probably agree with that. And because you can watch, the problem with the internet is you have so much information. You come to the event, it's all condensed down. All the individual talks are going to be structured and a nice little lead to lead you to all the things you don't understand about Bitcoin. You come into a room, like I remember the last conference, I can't remember who was telling me, some lad was like, I was sitting there and the lad beside me, I was like chatting away to him. Then I figured out he was a judge. And then I was talking to this other lad and they're all these high profile people and they're like, oh my God, this Bitcoin isn't just a fringe thing that nutters are into. These are fairly sophisticated, high net worth people, and they're here as well. And and that rubs off on you when they're like, all right, I got to take this thing a bit serious. There's all these companies, all these people, they're all so happy. It must have had a positive event in their life. And some of them may have only started into Bitcoin 2, 3 years ago. Like, maybe I want some of that. And of course, after consuming the information, we call it being orange pilled, but just everything becomes easier once you understand Bitcoin. All your worries go away. Your all your financial worries and like not financial advice, but like Bitcoin to me is the least risky thing I can do with my money. It just takes away all the risk and uncertainty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a powerful message. Like again, just looking at the 2 years previous, one of the big things that I noticed was the change and probably personnel that was there. I think years ago, even in Bitcoin in general, it started off as a cypherpunk movement, and then there was kind of the tech nerds or whatever way you want to say it, and then it becomes more business orientated over time, and becomes more of a professional gig. And I know some of the other conferences, there's people they say. The suits are just getting more expensive. That's what you see at these big conferences. But one of the things I noticed was from year to year was it became more of a family event recently, and a day out. And I think like Lawrence, you would have brought your family, and the kids enjoy it. The other halves enjoy it. Like your partner, if you want to bring them along, and children, like and friends. Like it seems like a very like I don't know if you're trying to do that as a focus, but it seems like a very inclusive family event as well.
Definitely, yeah. We have been doing all along. Kids go free to the event. Yeah, you can bring your kids along and they can come for free. We encourage people to bring their partners as well because it's great when the two spouses and the parents in the house are on the same wavelength and they really understand what Bitcoin is about and how it's going to give them a lot of hope for the future. Because Bitcoin, once you start learning about Bitcoin, you realize that it's a lot more. It's like it's our insurance for the future, especially for what is coming. It's going to give you a lot of hope as well, and it's going to give you more freedom. Yeah. So many people out there are working and they're getting compensated in a thing called fiat currency. They haven't even done any work on what is money. Most people are going to spend between 60 and 80,000 hours in their lives working, grinding out there. And they haven't even done 50 hours on what they're getting compensated in. So maybe it's time for people to start realizing about that and seeing what the real elephant in the room is. Yeah. And what's really going on. And then once you discover that, you can make a plan. Yeah. Everybody's been using plan A for the last 20, 30, 40 years. Maybe it's time to go to plan B now and look at something else because it works. It's changed my life. It's changed Jenny's life, changed all of our lives. And yeah, learn Bitcoin. It'll change your life and it'll make you a better person. It'll keep you grounded as well, and it'll help a lot.
Yeah, well, that's because one of those things we talk about a lot is like trying to talk to our friends and family around Bitcoin to try to orange pill them and explain why it's so important. But you're right in what you're saying, like coming to an in-person event and seeing other people, reputable people, these big name speakers, as you say, judges, solicitors, all these, reputable professions, so to speak, people from these different walks of life in the one room talking around the concept of what Bitcoin is. It's a real kind of mindset shift for your family members potentially, and bringing your spouse, even bringing your parents along potentially if you can as well, just to try to get those insights from other people. I think that specifically 1 day event could be life changing in many respects. But as well with the types of speakers you have at the event, can you give us an overview of kind of the different kind of angles, where they come from, their expertise? What are some of the bigger name speakers and the rundown of what the actual talk and conference will be like on the day?
Yeah, I'll share my screen and then you can start.
Awesome.
Yeah, or else I'll start. Let me share my screen and I will just show you a little bit of the agenda. Yeah, now we're still tweaking it a little bit, but people can go to Bitcoin Ireland, have a look at the event. So that's the home page there. But if you go into the agenda,
Mhm.
kind of laid it out there. So 9 o'clock check in. Yeah. Grab a cup of coffee. 10 a.m. It's going to kick off. First speaker we have is Jordi. He's flying in from Barcelona. So he is working with Noster. So Noster is a new peer-to-peer networking system that's been developed, something similar to Bitcoin. Yeah. He's going to explain about all that. Then we've got a mining company coming on board. Yeah, they're coming in from Germany. Yeah, that's the CEO there. She's going to be talking. Then we've got a little bit of a different twist. Bitcoin and sovereignty. Yeah, a lot of people out there learning about sovereignty now. And Carol Dean's coming over from the UK. Um, and then we've got a panel discussion with Robin Sayre, who's a big Bitcoin podcaster. Daniel Prince, he's coming in from the UK. Claire Marion, she's coming in from the UK as well. Uh, uh, she's into astrology and things like that. She's an amazing woman. And then Paul Rogers is an ex uh, finance man. He is from America. We met him in Madeira. He's settled now in Madeira and he is flying in from Madeira. So, Dinny, you can go through the rest of them. Knuts next.
Knuts has, that's probably one of the books I recommend to a lot of people, Everything Divided by 21 Million. Fantastic author, fantastic thoughts around Bitcoin and how it's going to shape the world and change the world. Then we have British Hodl coming in with us. What's he got? Three rules for Bitcoin. That'll be quite entertaining. British Hodl is actually our only speaker who's zooming in. The rest of the speakers are all there in person.
Yeah.
So British Hodl will be entertaining and informative. And if you're not arse filled after listening to British, you will be. Then we have Francesco from Bitvault. We have lunch break. Then we have a panel. We have women in Bitcoin, and we've got Claire Prince. We've got Samuela. We've got Nicola and Claire and Gillian. And one thing we noticed at the conferences is that it's mainly men, and we've been trying to sort of change the balance and attract more and more ladies, girls, females, into the Bitcoin ecosystem and to pay a little bit of attention to it. So that was that initiative. Then Daniel Prince is coming up, and he'll be giving a presentation. And after that, then we have another panel, which is Alan Jackson, John McGill, Dr. Peter Connor, Simon James, and myself. And that's just sort of about local Bitcoin adoption and orange pilling our friends, family, and our community, I guess. So that'd be quite interesting. Lawrence, if you want to bring it home there.
Yeah. Then we've got Robin Thatcher flying in from the UK. He's part of the Bitcoin Policy UK, who've been working very closely with the government in the UK and advising the government about different policies and why they probably should create a Bitcoin strategic reserve, like how America has just signed in the last month a Bitcoin strategic reserve, and they want to uh, have buy 1 million Bitcoin in the next 5 years. So countries are starting to do their homework on Bitcoin, and they are all going to need this on their balance sheet for the future. They don't realize it yet, but some countries are just going to be ahead of the other countries. And whether you have your holding a sovereign wealth fund, or you're a pension fund, or you're an insurance company, or a smaller person running your own company, you need Bitcoin on your balance sheet. Yeah, because the bottom line is, and this is one of the things, the cost of money to most people in Europe or in the UK is running at around 13% a year. So what that means is the cost of money, how much it costs you to have euros or sterling or dollars in your pocket, is running at 13% per year before you do anything. Okay. Uh, so it's advisable, probably, well, we don't give financial advice, but do your homework and you realize that maybe you should have some Bitcoin on your balance sheet. Yeah. Then after Robin Thatcher, we have Dinny Collins coming on from the Bitcoin Advisor. And then we've got Kieran Doyle, who is he's going to be talking about Bitcoin and taxation. He's an accountant in Ireland, and he's switching around his business now, and he's going to be looking after more crypto and Bitcoin people. So it'd be great to talk to him. Any business owners out there, come and talk to him. Then we've got somebody coming in from Dubai, which is Max Hillebrand. He is uh, sound money solutions about custodying your Bitcoin, and they're teaching people about Bitcoin. And then at 5:20, we're going to have a panel as well uh, with Ross Edwards, Francois Pouliot, and Robin Sayre. And we're going to add two more people onto that. And they're going to be talking about where is Bitcoin going. Yeah. Because what most people don't realize, the institutions are in now. They started coming in last year. There is a tsunami of institutions coming towards Bitcoin. And they're all doing their homework now. So it's just a matter of time. Yeah. Before they start getting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And they realize it's their insurance as well. Yeah. For the future. And then we're going to close it off with the Bitcoin strategic reserve. And there's going to be another panel with a couple of big OGs on it. Yeah, people that are in Bitcoin for a long time. And you're going to have Daniel Prince on that, Grafton Clark, Knutz is going to be on that, and Theo from Bull Bitcoin. He's flying in from France. So, amazing lineup. A lot of good international speakers. Most people that are speaking are going to be all international speakers, and it's going to be an amazing event.
Yeah, looks great. It's totally, yeah. It's a full packed day. As you say, it's such a variety of speakers as well. Um, like it's the conference has evolved so much. Is this, obviously each year you're going bigger and better. I know Lawrence, you had mentioned as well, is there like different an exhibition space you're going to have offset from the actual main conference hall itself? Is that correct? Is there like things happening
Yeah,
there? What kind of things are going on with that?
there's an exhibition space that we have as well, a separate space. It's on another room, and there's gonna be a lot of exhibitors in there, uh, just talking about custody, about mining, accountants in there as well, talking to people that want to learn about um, how to stay right with Bitcoin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Got some artists,
whole different amount.
we've got some workshops.
Yeah, we're going to be doing workshops as well. There's a few different workshops going to be running out during the day as well, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah,
Awesome. It's more interactive in that respect too, so that's cool. Good, good.
Yeah, it's going to be a slammed event, and one of the big things as well is once the speakers end, it doesn't end. There's always, I know we hung about a couple of times afterwards as well, and it's always been
the Guinness flows then. The Guinness and whiskey. That's what it's
Guinness and
about.
whiskey.
That's when the conversations really kick in,
Then
yeah.
he starts singing.
Oh yeah,
Did you sing last year or this, or did I imagine it? I think
Knut's can
I,
sing. We get him up there.
I
Dinny
think
was
you had a
doing a bit of
microphone.
karaoke. Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's a nice bar area there as well to hang out afterwards, and that's where you kind of like speak to people and do a lot of the networking as well. Like there's obviously the evenings long then from them just to hang about and meet people and network, and yeah, like I've made some contacts that I still keep in contact with from that event, which is one of the main things that you want to do at those kind of events. So yeah, that's a super thing as well to do, and I'm sure you guys will be hanging about as well afterwards.
Be there for the night, all right.
We're there for the weekend.
That's it. You need the Friday and the Saturday night to stay over, really, don't you? You need to make a weekend of it, in
Yeah,
that respect.
We have
definitely,
discount
definitely.
codes for the hotel as well, don't we, Lawrence?
Yeah, we have discount codes for the hotel as well. And if anybody wants to stay in the hotel, Bitcoin Ireland conference, going to get a good rate. Yeah, they gave us an amazing rate for the hotel. Like I think a double room, they're doing it for like I think 145 or something, or 150, including breakfast for two people, and a triple is only 169 for three people to stay. So people should connect and split the rooms if they want to, or do whatever they want. Yeah, man.
Yeah, obviously we'll drop the link below the episode here so you can get easy access to get through and get your rooms booked, get the tickets booked for the conference as well.
Yeah.
Was I'm looking at these questions you had written there, Chris. There's one quite a good one actually. What is it? If you could have one famous Irish figure in the crowd soaking up the entire day of the Bitcoin Ireland conference, who would it be, and why do you think they get hooked on Bitcoin at the end? Who wants to take that?
You want it,
Dinny
Lawrence?
go first, and then I'll go. Who would you like, Dinny, at the event?
Who would I like at the event? Um, like it's not the right answer, but selfishly, I'd love my dad to come and hear it.
The perfect
Because
answer.
he's on the crazy nutter talking about Bitcoin all the time. I'd like to come and see the enormity of what actually happens in Bitcoin and the sophistication of the people who are involved in it. But I know that's not the correct answer to the question, so I
No,
learned
that's
from that.
perfectly that's probably the best answer to the question, to be honest.
For
Lawrence,
me,
yeah.
for me, it might be the wrong answer. It mightn't suit everybody out there, but for me, I think, there's a lot of stuff happening in Ireland now. I don't like to get involved in and really mention about what's going on. People know what's going on themselves. They can see what's going on. I think I'd love to have Conor McGregor at the event. If he could orange pill Conor McGregor, man. And a lot of people don't like him, but he's been saying a lot of things in the last couple of months about what's going on in Ireland. And Ireland needs a bit of hope. Yeah.
It certainly have
So that
a
could be an
good
interesting
audience.
one.
Yeah, it would. It certainly would.
It would be. The after party might be fun as well. Well,
Well, yeah. Chris, do you want to? I suppose we won't keep you on too long. Obviously, it's we'll keep the episode quite short and snappy, and so people can get access as well. Do you want anything else, Chris? Do you want to add anything
no,
additional?
just from the guys. Like, what's the one key message you want to send to listeners about why they should join in this year and why they should visit the event and be part of this revolution?
For for me, aside from Bitcoin, I made it my business over the years to go to events, whether it was to learn how to meditate or learn business or learn how to sell. You can talk about it, you can hear it from your friend, you can look on the internet, you can buy CDs and listen to them, but nothing, it's all about energy. Nothing will give you the same impact of the energy of going to an event with hundreds of people in the room and to feel that energy and the impact that it'll have on you and the decisions you make. So for me, it's always worth the effort. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. You can just look at your phone and sit at home, or you have to go and drive somewhere. It's always worth it when you're trying to learn about something. For me, it's about in person, IRL, in real life. And that's why I'd encourage people to come and support. And it doesn't matter if you're an OG Bitcoiner or a no coiner. I think it's more important for no coiners to come. But OG Bitcoiners, you don't know the opportunities, as you said, Chris, like where all the networking, the opportunities in life come from networking, from getting out there, from going in real life, meeting people, having conversations. And that's where luck comes from, I think. Lucky people who everything works out for, it's not really luck. They made the effort. They've done things that other people were a bit too, quote, lazy to do. So I'd encourage people to come to the event. It's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be some crack and it's going to be well worth your time.
Awesome.
Yeah. For me, I think if people come to the event, they're going to have a whole mindset shift about what they've been hearing about Bitcoin for the last 15 years. Yeah. We all missed it. Yeah. I missed it at $30 or $100. You know, I didn't do my work and it's changed my life now. And I believe anybody that does their homework on Bitcoin, it'll change their life as well for the better. Yeah, because Bitcoin is a lot more things than just like a savings technology. It is our insurance, I believe. It is hope for the future. It's going to give you freedom as well. And, you know, if you can quote like Jeff Booth wrote a book a few years ago, and The Price of Tomorrow. And from 2025 to 2035, we're about to have 100 years of change. Part of that change is we're moving from fiat currencies to digital currencies. The digital euro is launching sooner than most people think, and people need to learn about the change. So, um, to put that into perspective, okay, about the change, right? We could be seeing every 40 days, we could be seeing a year of change. That's how fast things are going to move. And most people probably aren't aware of all this, but come and learn, hang out with the people that know what's going on, and learn how to protect yourself from inflation. So I say.
Good advice.
Guys. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And
No,
if
looking forward
anybody,
to it.
I'll just say there before, if anybody wants to come to the event, they can get a ticket and they can use 21 million as a discount code and get 10% off. 21 million.
Perfect. Good stuff. No, that's good. Good stuff. No, I think we'll leave it there and wrap up. But again, like, yeah, I highly recommend anybody interested in Bitcoin, just curious about it, get yourself along. As Denny said there, in real life, that's the key. Get there, interact with people, feel the energy, get the experience, and learn from others and network. And there's no better place to do that than at the conference itself. So really looking forward to it. It's the 24th of May, Saturday, the 24th of May. And we'll drop the links below. And again, do you want to, where can people find you both individually? Is it on X or, well, again, we'll drop your links obviously as well, but, and people can, follow along and see what's happening with the conference and with yourselves. But we'll drop that below. We'll get that from you afterwards, obviously, after the episode. But that's great. Good stuff. Anything else, Chris, to wrap up? Are you good
No,
or
no, thoroughly enjoyed that and definitely well worth attending the event. It's going to be awesome.
good stuff?
Yes, looking
Thanks,
forward to
guys.
meeting you there, lads. We'll have a pint at the bar after it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
good to
Thank you.
catch up again soon.
Few
Perfect.
points. Few points. A good
Good
few
stuff.
points.
Thanks for joining along and thanks for having or getting you on here and great chatting with you both and really looking forward to the conference on the 24th. That's great. Take care. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers. Sláinte.
Good stuff, guys. Thank
Okay.
you.